Hi Jen, hope you're doing good. I hope these videos are working out for you. I've never trained somebody remotely, so this is new for me. So I apologize if it's going a little slow or I'm not giving you work as quickly as you would like it. I was chatting with Nick yesterday, and he said you guys are talking about going to Indonesia. That sounds amazing. I would love to get out of here. Anyway, the next step. So you have, okay, I'm going to go to this pro advisor training thing again. It's kind of a good overview. Self-paced. Okay, so you have done the getting started with QuickBooks Online. You've done the sales, which what we've done for the Mexico property is we have booked the guests that have stayed into QuickBooks. Then you booked the expenses into QuickBooks. So that was all of the items from this spreadsheet, which is awesome. So the next step is the online banking. So basically what we always do as accountants and bookkeepers, each company will have, a different type of sales and different types of expenses, but the process is always the exact same. So we book the sales, we book the expenses, and then we reconcile those to our bank account. So I'm going to suggest that you watch first this half-an-hour online banking module. It'll do a much better job of explaining what QuickBooks is doing than I will. So I would suggest watch this half-an-hour video, pause me or stop me, watch this half-an-hour video, and then jump back on. And I'm going to keep going, assuming that you've watched the video, because it'll make a lot more sense once you do that. Okay, so stop me. Watch the video. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching the video. So what you want to learn from the video is what we're doing as accountants and bookkeepers is essentially we are mirroring a client's banking activity in their accounting software so that we can report on it. Some people will post all of the transactions directly off the bank statement. I don't like to do that because I feel like our job as accountants and bookkeepers is to record all the information off the bank account, but also make sure that the bank account is correct. So I never want to assume that the bank account is correct. I want to post everything from our sales sources and our expense sources. And then I want to check that against the bank account to make sure everything's correct. So if you go to the dashboard, right now you've just been focusing on the Mexico rental. So everything for the Mexican rental, I record on the Tangerine bank account. So any expenses I pay through PayPal, I try to pay through PayPal, and then it comes out of the Tangerine bank account. And then the bookings all get deposited to the Tangerine bank account. So if you open up the Tangerine bank account, I'm going to sort it by date to start. What we see here is a feed from the Tangerine bank account. So if you look right here, it says updated 1 hour ago. That means the Tangerine bank account data was pulled from Tangerine into QuickBooks 1 hour ago. So if this ever is like a few days old, it should update every 24 hours, but if you ever see it old, you can hit update. You'll see the little spinny spin. So what this is doing right now is QuickBooks is reaching out to the bank account and it's pulling the most recent transactions. So now it's saying updated a moment ago. So I haven't updated anything since July, but you can kind of get an idea. There's not a lot of transactions. So the reason that I'm using the Mexico rental is there aren't a lot of transactions, so it's a really good opportunity for you to kind of learn the process. And then once you feel comfortable with this, I'm going to move you on to some of my clients, and they will have 100 transactions in a month. So this is just a really kind of small, simple environment to learn the process. So what you would have learned from the tutorial is that anything that says one record found matched, basically what that means is that something that we have posted into QuickBooks exactly matches a transaction from the bank account. So if we open this up and we go payment, this is the payment for the transaction that's matching the bank. So this is a payment. The payment is for, you can see here, the payment is for this invoice. So if I open up this invoice, so this was Joanna's stay. So if we go over to here, so this is Joanna's stay on Airbnb. We posted it into QuickBooks. We applied the payment. That payment exactly matches the payment that we received in the bank account. So anything that has a, let's see, be a little closer. One sec, just gonna refresh. We can search by category and match. So what we are trying to do here is eliminate all of these transactions. So we want all of these bank transactions to exactly match with a QuickBooks transaction. When it does, it'll say one record found and we can match it. So the first thing I do is I match, I'll just show you on this one, I just hit match and it goes away. Match and it goes away. So when we have matching records in QuickBooks for everything that's come out of the bank account, we will be able to match it and there will be nothing here. And that's what we're trying to achieve, is nothing here. So I'm going to leave these for you to go through and match because I feel like it feels good to go through and match it. For the items that don't match, we need to figure out why there isn't something that matches to it. So I went through and deleted the payments that you did for the invoices, the sales invoices that you posted. I shouldn't have told you to do that. What we want to do is put the invoice in, and then when we receive payment in the bank account, we want to mark it as paid. Sometimes I'm a little lazy because I've been doing this for a long time and it's my own business, so I kind of cut some corners, but that isn't how we should do it. So I have gone in and removed, or just deleted the payments that you applied for the invoice so that we could go through and properly pay the invoices as we receive the money in the bank, and that's the proper way to do it. So what we're going to find is VBRO. We charge our rates on VBRO are in Canadian dollars, and we receive payment in Canadian dollars. So VBRO, what we post in QuickBooks from VBRO's website, should match the money that we received in the bank. What we're going to find for Stripe, which Stripe is anyone who paid on Tokeet, we received the payment through Stripe, which is the credit card processor. Anybody who paid on Stripe and anybody who paid on Airbnb, they paid in US dollars. And then when Stripe receives the money in US dollars, they convert it at their daily rate to Canadian dollars and deposit it in our bank account. So what we find is when we've posted the invoice using a quantity of 1.33 to convert the US dollars into Canadian dollars, that isn't exactly right. That's close. It'll be close, but it won't exactly be right. So because it's not exact, it won't match. So for these payments that we've received from Airbnb, you have posted the sales invoice, but unless the date is similar and the dollar amount is identical, QuickBooks won't create a match for it. So we are going to have to find that match. So I'm going to start with this one as an example to walk you through how to do it. So we received $1,056 Canadian on August 18th from Airbnb. So if I take $1,556 and I divide it by 1.33, which is kind of a fairly average exchange rate, I get $793. So I think this booking would have been for about $793 in Airbnb, and it would have been for around this date. So I'm going to go in. So I could do a few things. I could look here and on this spreadsheet, and I'm just going to, and I always put the amount they paid. So I'm going to guess based on the dates and the amount that it's Justin's booking. He paid, maybe not, I don't know. He paid $728, but then so did Julie. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to go to Airbnb and I'm going to go into, how did I do this? I forget how I open this up. Performance, earnings, and then I'm gonna select, we're looking for money that we made in we're looking for this guy, August 18th. So we're gonna look for money that we got in August. Then we're gonna go down here, it's a little convoluted, to view transaction history. And we're gonna see kind of all the money that we have received from Airbnb. So I wanna find who paid me $1,056.36 Canadian. So this actually is in Canadian dollars. So 1,556 was for Julie's. So what this is telling me is that was for Julie, plus we got an additional $70. I charged $10 a night for air conditioning that isn't included in the price. So if you ever see kind of an add-on for a round number in US dollars, it'll always be air conditioning. So we need to make Julie's invoice total $1,556 so that it will reconcile to what we receive in the bank account. So Julie should have an invoice for the 18th in Airbnb, or sorry, in QuickBooks. So I'm going to go to sales, customers. I'm going to go to Airbnb. And these here are these are all of the invoices that you posted. So because I deleted the payment, they all say they need to get paid still. So Julie And this is going to be my Julie one because it's the 727.69, which is the 727.69 that you posted. Plus, we're going to have to add the $70 for air conditioning. Which maybe, oh, this one's for Justin. Okay, it's not that one because this one's Justin's. But do we have what's this one? I think we have Justin's in their place. Okay, I might have done that. So there were two bookings. Julie and Justin around the same dates for the exact same dollar amount. So I'm just gonna, this one, I'm just gonna change this a little bit. So this is Julie's. And what we need to do is we need to make this total $1,556.38. Right now it's $727.69. So we need to add that amount. Let's just double check for that. Yep, 10563. I just had an idea, 10563. I didn't realize that if we went to this section of Airbnb, we could see the payments in Canadian dollars. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna go save. And then I'm not gonna hit receive payment anymore. I'm gonna go back to the dashboard. And now this matches. So this is Julie's, and now it matches. So we can go back here and see. So QuickBooks has now automatically matched this invoice to that payment. When we hit match, QuickBooks will automatically do the payment step that you had previously done. So let's do one more together. Let's do this one. So we received $781.29 September. So I'm going to go here. $781.29 we received from Will. So we know that that is Will's booking. Now we need to go into QuickBooks and find the booking for Will from August 30th. So we're going to do sales, customer, Airbnb guest. I just gapped out. How much was it for? $781. Let's still look here. Will. August 30th. It says we posted it August 30th. So I'm going to guess it's this one. So Will. Perfect. So we have Will here, Will here. So I like to just copy and paste things because I don't like switching back between screens. So basically what we need is for this invoice to total $781 Canadian. So right now it totals, so that may be because we didn't change this to 1.3. If we did, we got a lot closer. So right now, 793.41 is the total, 793.41. And we received 781.29 in the bank. So in order for this invoice to equal the amount that we received in the bank, we need to take $12.12 off of it. And now it equals 781.29, which equals the 781.29. We are going to just check the date one more time, and then we're going to close it. So what happens when we do that? We go back to the dashboard, back to Tangerine, and now it matches and we can clear it off. So if you could go through and do that for these 1, 2, 3, 4 Airbnb invoices, and then once you do that, these will all match, and you can go through and match. How many Airbnb payments are there? There are. So anything that says one record found, hit match, and it'll go away. Match, match, match. And then I will send you a second video on how to do Stripe and another video on how to clear off the expenses. And then that will be the end of this little section. So what we want to do is we want these to all be gone. We want to match everything that pulled through to the bank with a transaction in QuickBooks. And then every month we want to update this, pull in the new transactions for the month, make sure they match to entries we've made in QuickBooks. And then we can do the reconciliation in the next step. And then that's it. So for every transaction, for every month, for every company, you're going to have expenses to post, sales to post, then you're going to match those expenses and sales to the bank feed, and then you're going to reconcile the bank account, and then you're done. So different companies that we'll work on together will have different expenses and different sales, but the process will always be the exact same. So yeah, so go through and post sort it by I don't know what's easier. I think it's better you sort it by description and then go through and just like I did, post these 1, 2, 3, 4 Airbnb ones. You can try to post if you can, see if you can figure out why the VBRO one isn't matching to anything. VBRO 908. VBRO 908. It's probably 1,000. No, I'm not enough. Yeah, don't worry about that. Go through and post the Airbnb ones, and then and match everything that click match to everything that matches. The ones that say rule, don't add those yet. We'll do that next. All right, awesome. Thank you.